There it is. Okay, so we're going to be on page Kuf Pei Gimel, and we're starting this little idea here. The blurb at the top says, Yishuv Kama Mamarim Bezohar Hanirin Kasoisrim, as what else is new, that there's a lot of confusion as to what's going on there. Much time we have? We have some time, so. He says, V'hi nechem b'masha barnu, shebi arnu. So what we've explained, he says, Yizbar l'chol kama droshim b'maimarim b'zachol b'zochar shenivrim kasosrim zeh et zeh. I just had I remember that I had something I wanted to say, is that in the previous section, we were talking about the lending, that Rachel lends her kalim to Leah, and you probably think that's just really silly of me to be looking at that, but the word kalim just doesn't, it's not specific enough to be able to tell me what's left. I mean, it's just oros that goes down. That was my question, or what it is. So I see over here that, and he gets into the Inyan now, or he got into the Inyan of Tikkun Chatzos, where he says that what actually is happening is that Rachel is crying out, and Zeranpin is also crying out for the law. So that gives you sort of a context, gives me some context on this. But what actually happens after midnight is that Leah starts to sing. So because that's what he said because the Leah part is not nothing but its praises. It's praises and thanks and different kinds of relationships of a supplication type of way, not crying. It's a different story. And I'm wondering if that's the meaning of the Kalim. I'm just wondering if that's something about it. So let's go on and read the light print where I was. I'm sorry, I just want to get that thought out. I don't know for what it's worth. L'cholon, he says, later on, brings three different things he can say in the Zohar. In regard to that. But the we're going to be able to see why these steeras are not really steeras. So he said, Ki nehi bezoher lech l'chol, u'bahar b'makomos nizboyer, sha'achar chatzos l'ayla ha'kodesh baruch mishtah she'ah b'nishbosechem shal tzadikim, he starts to, I'm going to try to use the word rejoice. Rejoices with the tzadikim, with the neshamas of the tzadikim sheba'olam hazeh, in this world. That is, the people whose souls rise up in Mayim Nukvin. And specifically, he's talking, though, then, about people who wake up at midnight, or are up at midnight, and learn Torah then. That the Chaverim listen. Okay, so this idea, let's see what he says about it. He says, Bekama Bekomos Bezoer Mavur, the Achar Tzos Laila HaKodesh Baruch Mishtah Sheya Im Shamas HaTzadikim Shalabata Ba'olam Chazach HaOtzka B'Torah V'Olechem Ne'em Chaverim Achshivim L'Kolecho. Now what does that mean? The Chaverim, what's the Chaverim? Chaverim are close to you, they're listening to you. So he said, what does that mean? So he said the Chaverim is the Neshamas HaTzadikim Shebegan Eiden HaMachshivim L'Kol HaTzadikim Sheba'olam Hazeh. So he says there are tzaddikim beyond this world and those that are in this world. And there's a connection, there's a chibur between them in some way. So what was he talking about? He was talking, the question was, of who are the chaverim? So it means that aspect of soul, something that's much deeper, that's in the world beyond. He says, so he said, B'palgul's Lilo, there's something else there. He said, B'palgul's Lilo, Kaden, then, it's Anrecha Kutshecha Berichu B'ni Musei, Musoi, Lihishta Shea im Tzadikaya begins at the Eden. Oz Mis Orer, HaKodesh Baruch Minhago, he's rating, so what he means by Minhago here, I'm not sure. What was HaKadosh Baruch Hu doing? He was making a yichud with Rachel. What is HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Maybe mashpia shefa. He says, "Az mis orach HaKadosh Baruch Hu b'nuhag le'ishtar sheya im tzadikim began Eden. B'haku shat zechol chul he debar nash." This place is a great portion for a person. The kohen le'ishtar sheya b'araisa, who gets up to rejoice with the Torah. Ashrei chelko shel ha'adam shakam meshinah sachu b'shah he lilmod Torah, is that you're able to actually be up at that time. As we saw in the back, it doesn't necessarily mean to wake up. Maybe it's the best way, but it could be that even if you are up at that time, where we saw over there, we'd say Berchos HaShachar over there with exceptions. Says the Kudsha Berichu v'kol tzedikai the ginsa the Eden kulhu sightseeing the kole. They're all listening to what the person says. Shahar Rechab Kodesh Baruch Hu v'kol tzedikim began Eden. Kulam machshivin the kol limudo. Hadochu dersev, he goes another black place. It's also dersev hayoshevet beganim, those who are in the gardens. Chaverim machshivin the kolecha tashmiani heshmiani. So he said, in that place, they are listening to your voice. Hear me. I guess something like that. Below od. Ela the kucha berichu mashik alei chad chuta de chesed de bechavid na'atach ba'alma. Guard the person in the world. The whole Elohim is a tatan natrin lay, because he has a connection to up above, which is also the same as a connection down below. V'locha v'zu bilvad. El shal kodesh baruch hu Moshe rabelav chut shal chesed, he translates. The shomro ba'olam, in order to guard him in this world, shaharech el yoniv v'tachtonim shomrim also, because they all guard him. Hadahu dersiv, this is the meaning of this phrase. Yomim yitzavach Hashem chasdo, the day that he would extend out his chesed. Uv'la shiru rimei ad kan l'shona, and the nighttime he'll sing with me. So we'll pick up at number Membet. I see that our time is up. And it's just going to get shorter and shorter. Is that what's happening here? Next week it'll be 5 minutes shorter, or what?
Probably have to be 5 minutes shorter.
So eventually, we're heading towards daylight savings time, and so eventually I'm going to probably just do one, not do both of them. And tomorrow, wait a minute, it's tomorrow, we're supposed to start Purim. Okay, but I want to finish this, at least what we're doing right now, and then we're going to start Purim. Okay, call 2.